Well, she burst onto our screens in 2016 as The Bachelorette, and since then, Georgia Love has made waves in the Australian media industry as a news reporter, on commercials, and now with her very own podcast. We are delighted to have her here on the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show today. Georgia, hello.
Hello. Very weird seeing me behind you there. I looked a bit more glam than I do right now. Sorry.
Yes, we've got a lovely photo of you here. But I tell you what, it's so weird me actually interviewing you. I've worked behind the scenes with you a lot. You did a lot for us on Studio 10. It was certainly, you've grown as a person since The Bachelorette, haven't you? And as a presenter.
Oh yeah, I think so. That's nice to say. Thank you. It's kind of wide-eyed and bushy-tailed then, very much. Obviously done lots of news presenting down in Tassie before that, but I was a bit of a baby when I was doing that too. So I think 4 years changes you anyway, let alone through a weird, crazy experience like that. So
well,
yeah,
it's
I
funny.
hope that I've grown.
It's funny you mention the news presenting because our researchers found a little clip of you down in Tasmania. I think we should have a look at that.
When it comes to reporting on the issues that affect Tasmania, you can count on Win News.
And as news breaks throughout the day with international, national and our local stories.
We cover all the angles, the news and the people that matter.
And with a team Tasmania trusts.
Join us every night, Win News at 6.
I do like the fact you used my old tagline of "See It First." I will be honest, but
I didn't write it.
no, but it's interesting.
It
And
looked really good. Maybe I need to go back to that.
I tell you what's interesting, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to the other people in that promo, but you certainly had a presence and a naturalness about you, even in that one-shot promo. So you were destined for bigger things. Did you always feel that? Or when you became a newsreader, did you feel, I've made it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's more than I kind of even really wanted to do. I've just always wanted to be a news reporter. I wanted to be out on the road. Oh my God, there I am. What a baby. I always wanted to be out on the road, reporting and finding the stories and getting the opportunity to read at the desk that was a dream come true and something I certainly thought I wouldn't get at that age particularly. So no, I wasn't thinking I was destined for bigger things. I thought I've clocked life here at 27.
Georgia, having started in regional television myself, but dare I admit how many decades ago, the grounding that you get in regional television is absolutely fabulous. What was the difference then, did you find, going from, being a big fish in a pond the size of Tasmania, suddenly having to be in Melbourne, nationally seen by everyone? What was the difference for you adjusting?
Oh gosh, it was huge, and it was such a different. It wasn't even just the size of the pond; it was kind of the size of the fish, I suppose. It kind of went, it was statewide news reading, which was a big deal in Tassie, but 500,000 people, and the people who watch the news out of them versus kind of nationally, and the big reality show that The Bachelorette was totally different. And I'm glad that I was somewhat used to the notion of walking down the street and people might know me. And again, that was only because it was Tassie and it was so small. But I'm glad I had that kind of almost lead in a bit, because it would have been really, really odd otherwise. So it was odd anyway, but it would have been even weirder.
For sure. Did you find winning The Bachelor, or being on the show and being on a reality show, do you think that people felt that compromised your integrity as a newsreader and a news reporter?
100%. Yeah, that was my one biggest thing about going onto the show, and that I was hesitating about for quite a while, whether I wanted to or not, was I didn't think that I would really be able to go back into news very seamlessly at all, if at all. And I really feared for that, because that's all I'd ever wanted to do. I know how people on reality TV are perceived, and I know how they can be treated afterwards, but then I also know myself, and I know who I am and what my skills set is, and how hard I've worked for my entire career up to that point, and obviously now since too. So I just really hoped that people would kind of see that and see that in me. After the show finished, I kind of kept my head down and put my bum up for a while and just worked and made sure I wouldn't have that tag follow me of people going, oh, she's on your TV, she was on Bachelorette. I didn't want that. I worked too long and hard before that. So, yeah, I just kind of kept working and didn't put my neck out too much and didn't try to do the whole ex-reality TV person thing, or, you know, being at the opening of envelopes and stuff, and just quietly made my way back into the newsroom and people started kind of going, oh, she actually is a news reporter. That wasn't just a line she said for the show.
100%. And you're one of the few who have been in these reality shows who have actually gone on to have sustained work and carve out your own niche in the industry, especially in these tough times. You have created and you have proven yourself. And I can imagine that when you went into the newsroom, some people might have thought it was stunt casting. So you would have had a lot to prove to yourself and to others.
Big time. Yeah, big time. I sat down my first day in the Channel 10 newsroom in Melbourne, and one of the other journos said to me, so do you find it really hard to be taken seriously now? And I think that kind of set the tone for, it was like, okay, even people in the newsroom feel like that. Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of knew that would be the case. I thrive off being able to prove people wrong. It's just something that's just kind of the way I work. So, you know, rather than going home and having a cry and going, oh, people are being mean and think I'm a ditzy reality person, I just thought, well, no, I'll just prove them wrong. So again, head down, bum up, just did the work, and I think probably surprised people that I was able to do so. And Susie, as you said, you get such a good grounding in regional TV that, you know, I worked probably twice as hard as anyone else because I was used to doing 2 or 3 stories a day, because that's what you do in regional TV. So I think I just kind of quietly proved myself. I don't mind that I had to. I get it.
All right, that's interesting about the job and everything and how successful you are, yada, yada, yada. Let's get down to brass tacks. You found love on The Bachelorette, one of the few who did, and you're getting married. So I want details. I don't know what you put out there, but what's the exclusive you're going to give me? Do we know when you're getting married yet? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Very nice. Is there a date?
He's done well. Oh, look, there he is. How funny. So we were planning a wedding for Italy next year, so in 2020. It was always going to be 2021 anyway, but we figured we've gone back on those plans. So we figured there's just too many what ifs in the world at the moment. There's too many variables. Even if borders reopen up, even if we're all fine to travel by then, even if Italy's fine by then, we don't want to put it on our family and friends that they have to find the money to do so in such an uncertain time, with people losing jobs and everything. So what was kind of a dream is now just a distant memory, and we've gone back to the natural next step of Tasmania.
Oh, fabulous. So hang on, is that confirmed you are getting married in Tasmania in 2021?
Yeah.
Is that a Ben Robbo exclusive?
Yeah.
You know I want a headline, Georgia. But can I offer some advice, right? Our very own David Robinson, he played a priest on The Bold and the Beautiful. He could actually marry you.
Oh my God, is he ordained?
we can make that happen. We can absolutely make that happen. But he was the priest. I think it's something you should definitely consider. Georgia, I'm just so thrilled for all your success. I'm a big supporter of yours. I'm a big fan, as you know. So what does the future hold? You know, people talk about 5-year plans and everything like that. Where do you want to be in 5 years as the industry changes?
Oh, well, I think the fact that you're saying as the industry changes means I've got no bloody idea. Who knows where the industry would be? Gosh, 5 years ago, I had just been dumped by my ex-boyfriend. I was on the floor of my room in Tassie thinking I wasn't, ever going to survive the end of the month. And look where we are now. So who knows what's coming in 5 years. I'm really happy. I'm really loving everything I'm doing at the moment. I'm loving getting into the podcast space. I've always loved TV and news. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that because who knows what TV could look like or what media could look like in 5 years' time. I just hope that I'm still doing the same kind of things and still getting up every day and getting excited to do what I do, which I think is the measure of success in my mind. Just waking up and going, oh, great, I get to do this today, rather than like, oh, I have to go to work.
Georgia, I think Rob's trying to get another headline for you to say that there'll be babies or something in the news. I'm sure.
I know he's trying, Susie. That's
exactly. 4 years ago, you won the show and you won the heart of Lee, of course, a beautiful man. I've been lucky enough to meet him. 4 years is a long time. Have you found that the media has been wanting to maybe for you to fail? When you look at so many reality shows, particularly the ones that people get married on the show, no one's succeeded, or very few, probably, you can count on one hand. Have you found that the media is waiting, or parts of the media is waiting for you to fail?
Certainly in the first year or so, less so now, which is interesting. It's almost like they really, really wanted us to at the start, and then we didn't. They kind of went, okay, boring, let's move on to the next one. Like, these guys seem strong. Boring. The first 6 months in particular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, not only have you passed the media scrutiny, but you have really solidified your relationship because you and Lee have achieved something really, really successful. You've actually gone to IKEA, got some flat pack furniture and put it together, and you're still together.
I know, can you believe it? And that was just before lockdown too. So that was like serious danger zone there. No, there were quite a few moments during lockdown we looked at each other and were like, I actually really do like you. Like, this is quite fun.
That's great. And of course, moving from Tasmania to Victoria, to Richmond in Victoria, how has your fur baby handled it? Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, Pords. She didn't handle it well at the start. So she was very much mummy's girl. I got her, the breakup I mentioned just before, actually, I got her just before that. So she was a tiny, fluffy, white little baby when I had my heart broken. So I've created a monster because I was just like, love me. You will never leave me. You don't have a choice. And I was heartbroken in bed. So she was like, cool, that's what life is like in this house. So then when Lee was there all of a sudden, a year and a bit later, she was kind of like, no, it's just me and Mum. We don't need you. So they took a little while to get along. But no, we're all right now. 4 years in, they've accepted each other.
Well, Georgia, you have been such a good sport. And seriously, I will be writing up a story saying you're getting married in Tasmania in 2021 with David Robinson officiating the wedding. I think we can lock that in now. Heck, you know what, though? He would actually be very, very good. If he's good enough for Brooke on Bold and the Beautiful, he's surely good enough for you guys. Surely,
Yeah,
Georgia.
let's just hope I don't have as many marriages in my future.
Indeed. No, you've been fantastic. Thank you for so much for coming on the Ben Robbo Show today.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. It was nice to see you.